To carry out any kind of change to the OMNIAlog configuration, you must have logged in as an administrator. Furthermore, you must make sure that OMNIAlog is in config mode. First and foremost, it is necessary to choose the quality with which the measurements are taken. To do this, choose Configuration from the left-hand menu, followed by OMNIAlog. The OMNIAlog configuration page will open, where, in the Measurement Settings field, the measurement quality can be chosen. Choosing Standard, OMNIAlog carries out an electronics initialization and self-calibration before carrying out the configured measurement cycle. Choosing Fast, OMNIAlog does not carry out the electronic self-calibration. High Precision can be chosen instead to have particularly accurate measurements. Choose the Channels Configuration function from the left-hand menu, followed by Locals. The Local Channels Enabling page will open, on which it is possible to enable OMNIAlog's local analog channels, and, once configured, also view the connection screen. To configure one of the 8 channels, tick the relative box under the Enable function. Click on the Edit button to proceed with the configuration. In the Local Channel Configuration page, it is possible to choose whether the channel that you are configuring has 1 or 2 inputs. By choosing 1, as in the video, it will only be possible to connect a 2, 4, or 6-wire instrument to channel 1. Choose the acquisition frequency for the channel in question. Leaving default, the sensor will be acquired in the mode set on the Configuration Acquisition page. On the other hand, if one of the frequencies present in the drop-down menu is chosen, this channel will be acquired with that frequency. In this manner, it is possible to assign an independent acquisition frequency to every individual channel. Once the first configuration phase is finished, press the Next button to proceed. In the new Input Configuration page, it is possible to configure the type of measurement the acquisition instrument uses together with other configuration parameters, such as instrument power supply, the warm-up time in seconds, the conversion parameters, linear or polynomial, and the alarms. The identification or description fields allow the assignment of a name or ID to the instrument for easier identification. In the Measurement Type field, it is possible to choose the type of measurement to be carried out from those offered. Choosing a measurement type will cause the loading of its default settings. The excitation and delay fields are only enabled when vibrating wire has been chosen in the Measurement Type field. The excitation time and waiting time, both expressed in milliseconds, can be modified by the user in the case of a measured signal that is particularly weak or affected by noise. An indication of the quality of the signal measured by the vibrating wire instrument is present in the measurement log file. This quality parameter can have values from a minimum of 3 to a maximum of 9. Normally, to have a good measurement, this parameter must have an inclusive value between 7 and 9. If the opposite is true, you can try changing the excitation and delay parameters, doubling them, for example. In the Alarms Configuration panel, it is possible to set the type of alarm for the channel between those suggested and their relative thresholds. Set the threshold value in the appropriate field. The threshold measurement unit is the same as the measurement. Therefore, if a measurement is configured that has millivolts as a unit of measurement, the threshold value must be expressed in millivolts. Once the configuration is finished, press the Save Changes button to apply the changes. A confirmation message will appear. The Local Channels Enabling page will be reloaded in order to allow the configuration of the other channels. The most important information set will be shown in the Summary panel. Pressing the Wiring Scheme button opens the connection diagram based upon the type of sensor connected. It is therefore possible to proceed with the configuration of the other channels. By enabling, for example, Channel 2, it is possible to configure it as previously mentioned. If 2 is selected in the Input NR field on the Local Channels Configuration page, the following configuration will allow the configuration of both inputs for the same channel. For some measurement types, it is possible to connect 2 sensors to a single screw clamp. This is the case, for example, for vibrating wire with thermistor instruments, where the vibrating wire sensor is connected to the first input and the thermistor to the second input, or in the case of biaxial inclinometers consisting of 2 4 to 20 milliamp current loop 2-wire sensors that can be connected to the same OMNIAlog terminal using the 2 inputs. It will thus be possible to connect up to a maximum of 8 vibrating wire with thermistor instruments or 8 4 to 20 milliamp current loop 2-wire biaxial inclinometers. After having selected the acquisition frequency, press the Next key. Proceed with the configuration of the first input, configuring the fields present. Having configured input A, press the Next button. You will pass to the configuration of the second input, input B. For this input, as for measurement type, many fields are blocked, being tied to the configuration carried out for input A. In fact, it is impossible to change the power supply or select an input B that is a different type to that chosen for input A. Once the configuration is finished, press the Save Changes button to apply the changes and return to the main page. The Summary panel will only show input A. As you can see, it is possible to choose a different measurement type for every channel. Once the configuration of the OMNIAlog Local channels is finished, press the Save Changes button to confirm the configurations. Leaving the page without saving will lose the configuration.